Somebody play something.
Oh, shit, it's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pickle Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show, bitch.
Is it? Is this the Rick and Morty fan show? All right, no. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like it. It's currently not really working here with the lights and stuff. So we're just gonna go with a plain. I don't know what to tell you. I got no lights. I got no fancy stuff for you. The whole show is just going to be regular. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's going to be a great show, guys. We are going to talk about the anime kind of side of Rick and Morty, and there's been quite a few different anime adaptations of Rick and Morty, and we're gonna get to what you like, what you don't like. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but we'll get into it. We're also going to talk about, well, the reason we're talking about that is because big news, we're getting a Halloween Rick and Morty special, and this Halloween Rick and Morty special is going to be, well, at least rumored to be an anime, like, you know, a lot of the previous specials have been. We now have, well, when this one comes out, we'll have 4 anime specials, not including anything that happens in Rick and Morty that's related to anime, which is in a few different episodes as well. Yeah, so it just got announced that Rick and Morty is going to have a short special in Halloween. It hasn't been exactly pointed at when it will be. To the best of my knowledge, I checked yesterday, unless it got updated today with any news about when it's going to come. It's a Halloween special, and it's going to happen probably, I would assume, either very close to Halloween or Halloween itself. You know, not a big deal to drop something on Halloween Day, because when you're an adult, you're probably not doing a lot on Halloween Day. You're just going to have to tell the kids to fuck off and get their own candy for 15 minutes, and we won't be handing any of that shit out. Yeah, so really interesting to see what they're going to come up with, especially how you don't think of Halloween and anime going together super well. Obviously, you know, Halloween is, I don't think, a Japanese custom, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be about Halloween or what exactly, how it's going to be tied into Halloween. There is a little synopsis, which I'll pull up here. Let me grab it for you guys. I don't know, are you guys, let me know in the chat, were you guys aware of this Halloween special? And I know a lot of people will be, because a lot of people who are in the Facebook group are, but some of my friends who are just in general fans of the fandom empire, or some of my newer listeners like Mandalorian9, well, you're in the fandom as well. But did you guys know about the weird Halloween special? So let's pull up the news here. The one I liked, the report I liked, was the IGN one. So this is the one I'm going to read off. Oh, actually, it says reported by Collider. Collider, by the way, big. We have some ties with them now. Anyways, it's been reported by Collider. It's been revealed some of the details about the Rick and Morty Halloween special short. The short is going to be titled "The Great Yokai Battle of Akibara." So, whatever that means to you guys, I don't know what the Great Yokai Battle of Akibara means at all. I mean, I think Damon let me know what the last one was about, because I'm not big into anime, but he knew a little bit about it. It said it's going to be a horror anime short that is based on elements of Japanese culture, so not Western culture Halloween. Although Adult Swim hasn't officially announced the short yet, Adult Swim Canada revealed the logline, which Rick plans to build the ultimate AI toaster. So it also says things take a strange turn when he and Morty are forced to travel to Akibara for spare parts. So there is a synopsis here with it. Rumored to be released on October 10th. Thanks for that news. So what is this going to mean? I mean, we can say, oh, well, the synopsis is he's going to try and make an AI toaster. The problem is, with a show like Rick and Morty or a lot of animated comedies, The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, the idea behind the episode is almost never where it really goes or what's really important, you know? Like you could say, what's a good example? You know, you could make up an easy example for anything. You know, Jerry has an alien girlfriend. Now, Jerry does have an alien girlfriend in the episode, but so much more takes place. It's not really all about their relationship. It ends up being kind of a subplot, you know, or Beth and Jerry go to couples therapy. They do go to couples therapy, but they don't go to couples therapy that we would know. They end up creating weird mythologues, and there ends up being a crazy story built around it. So Rick building an AI toaster, I mean, he might be building a toaster throughout the episode. He might only be building a toaster for the first 2 minutes, and then that just leads them to go to this Akibara place. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so if I'm not and you guys know how to pronounce it. Anyways, so this leads us to, you know, talk about what do we like about the anime shorts. I've been very mixed on the anime shorts. I really like the Gotron one they just released. I thought it was great. There's some great lines in that one. The Rick versus the Genocider one, I was not a big fan of. I know a lot of people liked the continuing storyline. It had a lot about Rick and Morty and where they came from, and kind of led you to hints about their past, which, you know, pretty much everything about Rick and Morty's past has now been revealed. I mean, it's difficult. It's hard. I'm not a big fan of reading subtitles. North America Hip Hop in with a make sure to like this video. Yes, guys, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Fandom Empire. If you're not already subscribed to Fandom Empire, I mean, you do get lots of updates telling you, hey guys, like we're going on. It might not always be something you want, but it tremendously helps the channel, myself. It helps us get viewed. It helps everything get out there. So yes, like, share, comment. If you're watching a video after the fact, comment on the videos. I will check the comments. I often do. And I like to reply to comments. So if you're watching it later, if you're someone who has a job to go to today and going to watch it later, like maybe, you know, Justin McEwen will, comment on the video and I will get back to you. But anyways, when it comes to the animes, it's kind of been a mixed bag for me. And I don't know, I'm going to read some of your opinions on it. I really liked the Gotron one. The Gotron one, I feel like, was the closest to the personality of Rick that can be done in subtitles. There was some really great lines. They were talking about how Jerry was going to be culled. He was going to be sent off into space. And Beth said they're going to do that against his will. And Rick stops and says, you know, free will is not real. He's like, basically free will is, you think it's from something that comes on the inside in your mind and in your heart, but really it's just a whole bunch of external factors that make you do what you want. And she says, well, you know, what about you when you're traveling around? And he says, yeah, I'm always doing something I want, and everything I want comes from, you know, the things that I've done and that I want to do again. So basically, he's saying free will isn't free, which is, you know, a concept that I'm a big fan of. I don't think free will is free. So, and that's super depressing and terrible. But we'll go on. So, free will isn't free. I really like that line, and it seems like a great Rick line. It's something that really made the anime Rick seem a lot like the regular Rick. You know, it seems like something he would say. I also love how he talks about how the body is a liability. He's eating dinner, and Summer has a boyfriend that is actually an internet program, or she has a digital boyfriend in that. It starts off with the car driving her off, and she talks to it on her phone and through the car and whatever. She has a digital boyfriend, and Beth obviously opposes this as a regular human being, and Rick talks about how having a body is really just a liability. You have to feed it, you have to do this, whatever. Like, it'd be so much better if we didn't have bodies, we could just exist without them. Which is, I thought, a really hilarious thing as well. And I know there's one time he talks about aliens being advanced, and he says they're so goddamn stupid. Anyways, I think that if you go back and watch the Gotron short, if you're a person who doesn't like the animes and kind of quit after the first two, go watch the Gotron short. I think it's just called the Gotron short, but watch the Gotron short, and it's the closest to Rick and Morty I feel like that anime has been so far, and has great lines. Obviously, I've kind of spoiled some of the lines for you if you haven't seen it, but you'll see them delivered in Japanese and subtitled. And I definitely said a few of those lines a little bit wrong, but anyways, awesome. Actually, Toronto Freddy in here says, Kieran, I love you. Cletus Cassidy hairstyle. Actually, I have a French braid in here. I actually got my daughter to do my hair this morning, which was, I know, I love it. I get my daughter to do my hair every once in a while because I have longer hair. And obviously she does it in whatever girl styles, traditionally female styles. And I love wearing it to work because I work at a school, and often I'm with kindergartens and grade ones, and they say, like, you have girl hair, or you're not allowed to have hair like that. And then I tell them, like, I can have my hair whatever I want. I'm still a boy. I'm allowed to have long hair. I'm allowed to paint my nails. I don't paint my nails, by the way. I would, but I don't know. It's just something I wouldn't do. But anyways, I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm still a boy. So I think it's an important lesson to teach them. So anyways, French braid. I have it in a French braid. It actually kind of makes me look like a Klingon right now. For all you Trekkies out there, I proudly call myself a Trekkie. Anyways, let me know what your favorite anime is and why in the chat. I'm going to go over a couple of the comments that we've been here, and we'll do our roll call. So let's do the roll call, see who's in here today and what they have to say. Lance is in here. It says, nice night for a show. And Lance already in here with a $5 super chat. Of course, I missed it because it was, I think, before the show even started. Thank you, Lance. Obviously, Lance, big support of the show. Can't thank him enough. Lance, we haven't actually chatted a lot lately. So let's get back chatting. We haven't done a lot lately. Damon has got his shirt on and ready to go. I actually don't have my shirt on. I meant to, but man, I was in a rush today. Really crazy. You can go to, is it TeePublic? I'll get Sean. I'll get producer Sean to throw the link in there. TeePublic / Fandom Empire, I think, but we'll get that up. You can get Rick and Morty fan show shirts. You can get them in any color you want, and the logo goes on. It's awesome. I recently got my Fandom Empire shirt, my Rick and Morty fan show shirt. I got my Tommy B. I guess I'll just go fuck myself t-shirt. There's the F-bomb for the show. And yeah, great. So happy that Damon has his shirt and is wearing it. Linta Jonas is here. Alan Prescott is here. Our resident, well, I guess we got a few. Damon and Alan. I used to say Alan, our resident trivia champion, but Damon is also a trivia champion, and he had to come from behind for that one, so that was interesting. And yeah, Mandalorian 9 is here. Alex Roof is in the house. We had North America Hip Hop here, and Toronto Freddy. That's cool. And thanks, Freddie. I like that. Think outside the box. I know. I'm trying to always, I'm not a teacher. I'm an educational assistant. So, I'm not teaching all the kids all the time, but I'm definitely always trying to get their brains to work in an interesting way. I don't know. I'm probably screwing up our youth. I'm probably ruining Canada. So you guys in the States, don't worry, you're free. I'm not teaching any of your kids. Alan Prescott loves the Two Crows, of course. Damon says, haven't watched any Rick and Morty's since, though. Been binge watching Dan Harmon's other work, Community, and playing Assassin's Creed. Nice. Yeah, definitely you were in there for a lot of trivia, but yeah, I love Dan Harmon's work. I need to get into more of it. I keep wanting to watch, actually, not Dan Harmon's work, but Justin Roiland was a voice on Fish Hooks, and I really want to watch that series. Keep forgetting about it. I'm so far behind on things. I don't know about you guys, but there's not enough time in a day to watch all the TV shows that people tell me about. Like, I haven't watched Squid Games yet. I haven't watched. There's several TV shows. We're reviewing the show Midnight Mass a few times now, which is a horror show. I never finished Fear Street. Man, just so many things to watch. Anyways, Alex Roof's only in here for 15 minutes for a break at work, but I'm super glad that you would choose to spend 15 minutes here in your break at work listening to the show, and hope you fandom Empire Live after this. I don't know if I see anything else about... Mandalorian says, do you ever think they will do a Solar Opposites and Rick and Morty crossover episode? That's a really interesting question. I don't know if they will, because I know that it's... I don't know that Dan Harmon, I know he's not involved in Solar Opposites. It's Justin Roiland and... Damn, can't think of the other guy's name. Anyways, it's not a Dan Harmon thing, and I don't know if he would mix it up. I don't think that they've really, other than the fact that in Gravity Falls there's a couple of Easter eggs to Rick and Morty and vice versa. I don't know if they would ever do an actual crossover episode. Like, it's hard to think of how that would happen, even though Rick and Morty could obviously cross over with anything. It's pretty easy to see. Another big thing is people talking about the Rick and Morty live action movie that people are thinking is coming out. I still don't think it's going to happen. Like, people keep saying because there's more and more stuff. Now, I do think they could do a live action a bit in a show, or like an episode that's even close to all live action with Christopher Lloyd. And that kid that was in it. Anyways, they could do that, but I don't think it's gonna. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyways, we're supposed to be talking about the end. We're getting way off track because you guys are super hot in the chat. I love when the chat is moving, guys. I don't mind halting the show at all for you guys if you guys have something interesting to talk about. Yeah, no, I think that I think that that's really cool. Anyways, if you do want to stop the show and have whatever you want to be talked about, you can always super chat, and then that redirects the show for sure. But I don't mind doing it if it's something that interests me, anyways. But I will talk about whatever the hell you want if you know, you super chat in. Alan Prescott is talking about a cameo. Now, a cameo I can see. I can see a cameo. I know a lot of people would like to see that with the ending of Gravity Falls. Something to do with the characters in that show appearing in Rick and Morty, because it's such a beloved show that only lasted 2 seasons. So anyways, back to anime and Halloween special. With them doing another anime special, I'm wondering if this is going to be like an ongoing thing. Obviously, I thought that the first 2 of them were kind of a too short deal, but then quite a while later we got the Gotron special, and now we have the Halloween special. I'm wondering if maybe it's also easier for them to do that because they don't have to provide the voices, they don't have to do anything. It's kind of outsourced most of the work. So I mean, it's pretty awesome for them to just throw it out there and say, sure, it's Rick and Morty, go ahead. I did have a question as well, or not a question, Damon saying that he thinks it's funny that people consider the anime canon. The anime being canon is a hard thing to, it's a hard thing to deny in the way that it could always be different dimension. It could always be any, like everything in Rick and Morty is another dimension. And we've just found out how crazy and large the multiverse is, because in Rick and Morty, in the recent episode, the most recent episode, the season 5 finale, we found out that Rick is keeping all these universes where he's the smartest person and he controls everything in the central finite curve. And I mean, at the time, we're thinking, okay, so the multiverse is all just small little differences in the timeline. There's always a Rick, there's always a Morty. They could be, they could be lizards or aliens or cowboys or anything else. The majority of the Ricks and Mortys still look like Rick and Morty. They gather together on the Citadel. They all wear the same sort of garb and they all talk pretty much the same. There's not a lot of differences between the Ricks and the Mortys, but we recently found out that that's only the stuff that, Rick has gathered together. They're outside of that. There could be worlds where Jerry's the smartest person. There could be worlds where everything else is. Damon, I just, another message in from Damon. I mean, C-137. Yeah, I know. See, that's the part I didn't like when Damon comes in here, says they use it as proof to say that Rick and Morty are the same person. Now, I did actually kind of like this theory. The reason being is because it kind of comes back to the Back to the Future thing where, Marty goes back and meets his mom and his mom is attracted to him. And, anyways, that sort of thing happens where it almost seems like he could be having his own kid in the future, which would be him. All sorts of crazy paradoxes when it comes to the movie Back to the Future. And I feel like it ties in well to that, being that, they're kind of the inspiration for the characters, or at least, a far off idea of where the characters came from. So I did like kind of the idea that Rick and Morty were the same person and that Morty would grow up to be Rick. I was okay with that. But using it as proof it's definitely not canon in the C-137 universe. I know that they think they're C-137 and everything, but it's easy in animation, especially for them to write that off as anything they want to. They could say there's a universe, or they could say there's so many different universes that think they are C-137 because they've all been designated that by C-137. It's how do they know there's C-137? Someone had to make those designations and someone had to tell them, or they had to have a reason to find out. So the numbering and stuff like that is it's cool to be able to track the Ricks in that way, but it's all messed up as well. And now that, season 6 coming up, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows is there really going to be a crazy multiverse anymore? Anyways, all of that stuff is crazy. The canon is all messed up. I do like that whole idea that they had there, but it was good as a one-off and it's good as not canon, or as not canon as an idea. I feel like any idea you have about Rick and Morty is kind of canon when they have a multiverse. I've always thought this with the Marvel universe as well. If you think about, you come up with a crazy idea in your head, you say, what if Apocalypse killed the X-Men and then they had, name a whole bunch of other mutant characters and say they turned out to be the X-Men after that. By the way, I'm staring at a bunch of X-Men action figures, so that's why I came up with that. But every single thing that you think of is a possibility and therefore a reality in a multiverse. Everything like if you're thinking about a multiverse theory in the way that I think of it, everything you think of in your life, you know, if you know, if I was born with blonde hair, there would be a blonde-haired me, like that. So that is now a multiverse thing. It now happened. If you know, could be anything. It could be anything that you missed, any door that you opened or didn't actually open, any person you bumped into by accident. Maybe you bump into someone on the left instead of someone on the right, and instead of meeting someone that becomes your best friend, you meet someone that becomes your worst enemy. Everything that happens in a multiverse, it's like everything that's possible to happen happens. There should be so many different possibilities in the universe that you know, they would be infinite and impossible to count. Anyways, so that's why I always think when you come up with something, it's canon. When you like it's not canon in that universe, but it's canon somewhere. So that's how I treat canon. That's how I treat canon for Star Wars. Treat canon like we talk about Halloween over here. There's 3 or 4 canons depending on what you consider canon or not, and you just have to kind of treat it in a way that, you know, the book canon is the book canon, and the movie canon is the movie canon, and the show canon is the show canon. You got your own head canon. And anyways, if I talk about this anymore, I'm going to want to be shot out of a cannon. So, although I mean, I could go on about that stuff all day. It's the crazy, stupid stuff I think about when I can't sleep. Anyways, what do we want to see from this Halloween special? Now, it's supposed to be a horror special, so I'm wondering if it's going to involve Scary Terry at all. I mean, we had a Gotron special, involved the Gotron bots again. Something that was used in an episode was reused. I can't see a reason why they wouldn't use Scary Terry if it was a horror theme. It'd be very interesting. It'd be nice if I mean, we would love it on this channel if they would do something with Michael Myers, if they could have the Halloween icon himself, the Boogeyman, show up. I think that would be very well. I like is that it would be amazing for this channel because, you know, we tie in those two things that we do really well. We cover Halloween really well, and we cover Rick and Morty as well as I can do it. And I think that would be really interesting. But how are they going to do a horror special? I know. I mean, when you think about Japanese horror, you think about video games as well. Maybe we have something that's a little bit more zombie and Resident Evil-ish. Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit for this special. I mean, that's the best thing. It's the best thing going about Rick and Morty is that we don't know when it's coming, and it's coming very soon, but they don't care to tell us. They give us a synopsis, but it's not going to tell us really that much about it. And who knows? It could all be a joke. I've seen some of the synopses that show up on TV, and sometimes they're wildly inaccurate. So there's ones that say that Jerry saved the world, and you're like, I don't remember Jerry saving the world at any time in any episode. Anyways, so we got about 15 minutes on the show. I'm just gonna pull up some of the other synopsises for the anime. Rick and Morty anime shorts, and we can go through them. I remember I liked the Samurai Rick one a little bit more than the versus the Genocider one. Everything that I'm pulling up here is, of course, about the Rick and Morty anime short that's coming out. So let's see if we can pull up the Wikipedia. Everyone go to Wikipedia for the news. Oh, there you go. Or anime short films. So the first one was Samurai and Shogun. That's what I was trying to think of. Samurai and Shogun I liked better than Rick and Morty versus the Genocider. Oh, and the Gotron special one, actually, even though it says Gotron special, it is called Summer Meets God. Rick Meets Evil is what's labeled on here. Oh, it doesn't have the synopsis for them. So let's go to Samurai and Shogun. So we can pull up some of the parts here and talk about them. All right, so we went over some of the ideas from the other one here, from the. So I guess it follows WTM 72 Samurai Rick and Shogun Morty as they face against various Ninja Ricks. It's inspired by samurai anime, so there was a lot more actions in that one. I know I really liked some of the anime that was displayed in this one, especially like the fighting and things like that were really neat. I might even just watch a short clip here of it. Yeah, so and they did like a little bit of a 3D animation for this one. I don't know if you guys remember. Rick basically has this old man Morty. Looks like he's like an emperor, things like that. He has them coming around with them. Ninjas attack them. There's lots of crazy arm slicing and head slicing people's heads off, kills. The animation is very neat in it. It almost looks like when you see cutscenes in anime style video games. What? We need F you again, yo mama. If only they could put that on TV. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you were talking to me or someone else. I was like, wait, what? What did I do? Why do I deserve this abuse? Also, it was pretty cool. It had the Goodbye Moon Men stuff came back. The crazy aliens from Goodbye Moon Men came back out. So that was really neat thing about the episode. That's when he disappears into the smoke, comes back, attacks people, cuts off their heads. Just watched this short bit of it, but basically it was all action. So I guess that's why I liked it more. The Genocider episode had a little bit more canon-y stuff, which is probably why people are big fans of that whole thing. Yeah, I know. Keep doing the show. I know. I don't worry. I didn't really think you were talking to me. I was just like, wait, who's is he? Did I miss a message here? Like, no, I get it. Yeah, I know. I hate when I record Rick and Morty on my DVR, and I would much prefer to watch it on my phone or watch it on my DVDs, because when you have the swearing cut out of it, it's just not quite. It doesn't have quite the same tone to it as if when you keep the swearing and terrible language in there. So, Mandalorian says, "You know what I treat like a cannon? Anything that launches a giant metal ball out of it." Yeah. That, I mean, if it's a cannon, it's a cannon. I actually recently went to super off topic again, but recently went to Halifax, and in Halifax, which is a place in Canada. They have this awesome old army base called the Citadel, which is on top of a giant hill leading down to the river. And basically, it was like a base for them to defeat anyone who tried to sail in and storm up a hill. And it has a whole bunch of crazy trenches. It looks like a crown-shaped trench all around it. And they have a thing called the noon gun. And at noon every day, they fire off this cannon, which was awesome. And I can't even describe how loud this cannon was that they fired off. Luckily, I got there right before noon to hear the noon gun. Imagine living in Halifax and having a gun go off a cannon go off at 12 o'clock every day. Pretty crazy. However, yeah, I don't know. It was an old army base. It was super awesome to see. I'm really into that sort of old historical stuff, and I don't know. It was awesome. It was awesome. Like, honestly, if you're gonna go somewhere, go see the army bases and the crazy old historical shit. Like, I don't know that I feel like every trip I go on now, I'm going to find some old historical stuff to watch. I'm getting old, so I just like to. I would rather do that than go to all the malls and go to see all the I don't know, theme parks and things like that. I'd rather go see old shit because I'm old. Yeah, little side story about cannons. Alan says, dude, we got a Civil War reenactments here. One time somebody called the cops and we asked him if he wanted to shoot the cannon. He ended up leaving. Yeah, I would love to go to a Civil War reenactment. That would be amazing. I mean, obviously I'm not American, I'm Canadian. So, it's not quite as big here as it is there. I know there's lots of places in the States where they like to do Civil War reenactments, but yeah, I would love to see any sort of war reenactment. I think that would be really cool. I'm a really big medieval times guy too. I like to study like old, yeah, just in general. I'm just not even going to talk about Rick and Morty now. I'm really off in my own place right now, but whatever. We're all friends here. Everyone in the chat is like, you're all people I know. So we don't have any new people here that are going to be like, what the fuck? This was a Rick and Morty show. So I recently did one of those ancestry.ca things too, and it was pretty cool. And I've got to trace my family back to, so far I think I've traced my family back to 1821 when my like great grandpa was born. So that's a really cool thing to do. And if you look it up, they're not like, the DNA thing is not like 100% accurate and stuff like that. And some people are wondering where parts of these things came from. But to be honest, it came up pretty much how it should have. So I would definitely recommend anyone who's thinking about getting one of those cool DNA kit things done and find out your ancestry. I was like, definitely mostly French, which I knew was going to happen because my family's French. My last name's French. I have lots of French people in my family. And then I know I have some Polish roots, so, and that came out in there. So really cool. I really enjoyed it. So anyone who's thinking about maybe doing it, I would recommend it. I think it was lots of fun, and you get to go online as well and trace back other people's family trees that involve your family in it. So that was cool. Anyways, Rick and Morty Halloween special coming up. Well, we'll go back to Rick and Morty for a little bit here, but Rick and Morty Halloween special coming up. Also, a very important thing that you think about when you think about this is they keep on working on releasing Rick and Morty stuff, which is great because, as you guys know, Rick and Morty lost a lot of fans in between season 4 and 5, in between season 3 and 4. Like, it really picked up into season 3 and lost fans along the way by having these super long in between periods where there was no Rick and Morty. Everyone jumped on something else. You got to keep everyone's attention. So having these shorts fill in the void, and obviously having a really they got comic books going. They have these shorts. They're going to have a short period in between seasons. We should have a new season, every year on the dot, like when it comes out, or when, normal shows will have an extra season just, every year when it starts. When did it start this year? Was it July? I can't remember now. Anyways, it'll start at that same time every time. So hopefully Rick and Morty keeps gaining fans and keeps growing. It's really cool to have that happen. It's a good sign for Rick and Morty altogether. A lot of people saying that Rick and Morty lost fans this year, and it did not lose a lot of fans this year. It lost a lot of fans in between season 4 and 5, and in between season Sorry, not in between 4 and 5. In between 3 and 4 is what I meant to say. Oh, good. I was right. It wasn't July. July 20th. It lost a lot of fans in between season 3 and 4, which was a giant period in between where we didn't know when we were going to get more Rick and Morty. It was when they finally had that big deal signed, and that's when Rick and Morty came back. So, we shouldn't see that again. And even though Rick and Morty doesn't have the same TV numbers as it does, there's still lots of merch and apparel out there and things like that. So doing fantastic there. I think we will have Rick and Morty for a long time, hopefully. We don't have no idea where they're going to go from here because we haven't really we've really tied up a lot of our loose ends. So where Rick and Morty is going to go from here, who knows? But we've seen based on this last season that they could go all sorts of crazy places and do all sorts of crazy things. It's been really over the top sexual this year, and I feel like they'll go in a completely different direction next time. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to go one more time through the comments, and then we'll probably head out of here, anticipating a Phantom Empire live coming up at 9 o'clock, and I might need some prep time for that. Who knows? Who knows why? Anyways, guys, let's go through the chat here. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. After that crazy whole spiel about things. Damon says he's mostly Scandinavian. Alan says we were deported out of Scotland to America for stealing a horse in 1700s. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's a great story. I would love to have that. My family is Acadian, so we're definitely not crazy rich people either. French people who moved to Canada and were basically treated like prisoners. So I actually just like I said, recently went to Halifax, so learned a lot about that. Damon says there are more big groups now. There used to be one 400K group now, and now there's like 500 to 200. Yeah, because the one got zucked, of course. Jody Anderson's late, but he's here. Jody checking in the game. Jody, how's it going? We've just been talking about the anime Rick and Morty. We've talked about that the new Halloween special is coming out soon, possibly on the 10th is what we've heard in the chat here. It's going to be an anime Rick and Morty. I don't know if you've known about that. We've also talked about a broad range of other topics because there was not a lot of crazy news about Rick and Morty so far. Yeah. So anyways, happy you can make it in, Jody, even though we're leaving in a couple minutes here. Yeah. Rick and Morty, I like, honestly, when it comes to going online in the Facebook groups and support online and stuff like that, I find that it's not really, the support's not huge there. There's a lot of people joining these groups, but most of the groups, even when they have 100K followers and things like that, there's like 50 people that comment. So, I mean, a lot of people have there's obviously a lot of bots in a lot of groups. There's a lot of fake accounts and things like that. But like, really, if you want to go on the strength of a Facebook account, you want to find the best Rick and Morty groups to join, go take a look at what the posts are like on them. Like, there's groups that are dead that are at 100,000 people, and there's groups that are very lively that have 100 people or less. It sucks. It's really hard to keep up with a Facebook group. I know that our Facebook group for the Rick and Morty fan show has not been super active. It's been a lot of you guys keeping all these crazy things going as well. I know that Jody and Misty and Matt Conway, people like this are keeping the Facebook groups going. And I really appreciate you guys keeping that going while I haven't done a crazy amount lately. I do like to repost some fun stuff on there and things like that and tell you when there's shows available. I would love to do more competitions, but competitions lately haven't been crazy active either. So if you guys know of a competition you'd like to do again or another one, you can always message me here. I like doing trivia. Trivia was a little bit less, but we had an issue with YouTube that day. I know there was a few people I know that said they couldn't get on for that, for the trivia there. So it sucked that YouTube was kind of being a dick at that day. Anyways, that's going to do it for us today. We're going to end the Rick and Morty fan show here. Sorry I didn't have the lights. I know people like the lights. They like to see the dancing and all that crazy stuff. What can I tell you? The lights were not going crazy today. And if you want to follow the Rick and Morty fan show, you can follow the Rick and Morty fan show. I mean, it's right here. Rick and Morty fan show spelled out like that. Facebook group. You can check out any of the socials here. Fandom Empire. There's Fandom Empire now. Rick and Morty fan show on Instagram. Rick and Morty fan show. You can find it on Twitter at Gogan Kieran. And keep up with things there because we're going to be having a lot of competitions and fun stuff coming up soon. Just got to try to figure out some new ways of doing that to keep everything fresh and interesting. Hopefully we'll be able to give away more of these. Still got more of these little cool guys to give out. Whoop. Mr. Poopy Butthole and many fun things. I got lots of prizes to give out, but we're going to have to get some of these competitions up and running. Anyways, that's going to do it for us, guys. I hope you have a good time. I hope you have a good day. Once again, reminder, this show is every 2 weeks right now just because we're off season and there's not a ton to talk about. So, I end up talking about my family history from the 1800s. Anyways, yeah. So that's going to do it for today. So I will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Play something. Somebody play something.
By the way, love this graphic, guys. Great graphic.
It's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pick a Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show, bitch.